Hi guys, welcome back to another session of Salesforce. In this session of Salesforce, we'll be learning something about process builder. So process builder. What is process builder? Process builder is nothing but it's same as a workflow. It is used for automation of business process. But the main difference between the workflow and the process builder is that by using process builder, if you can remember, workflow will only work in master detail. Whereas like when it comes to process builder, it will work in both process work I'm sorry it will work in just a minute, right? It will look up as well as in master detail, and you can perform a bunch of operations. See, whereas in workflow you are limited to these actions, like 5 actions. You have task, you have email creations, you have outbound message, you have field update, you have existing action. Whereas in process builder, the actions are more. Like you can perform apex sharing, you can invoke an apex class that you will be learning in the future classes. When it comes to the customization part, you will be learning about a lot about the apex triggers and so on. You can create a record and then email alert, and then we have flows, we have post to chatter. What is chatter? Chatter is nothing but it's used for internal communication. We have processes, we have quick action, and then we have approval process, and then we have field update. So these are the actions that we can perform using a process builder, and it will work both in lookup as well in master detail, and you can update both ways. So whereas here we can only update parent record from the child, whereas here it will work from child to parent as well as parent to child. So you can update both ways. You can update parent from the child, or and as well as you can update child from parent. Alright, now let's take a look. Before that, let's paste the link first. So this is the link where you can practice the automation processes, and we can close this one. We're done with this. Right, so this will be the link. You can make a note of a link, and let us open on the browser as well. Alright, let's close this one. Right, this is what the website looks like. This is all the processes: creating a record, updating a record. We have for everything, launching a flow. See, you have a lot of quick action, post to chatter, submit for approval, send an email, and you have some general topics as well, error handler. You can learn a lot from this one. You have process builder, you have lightning flows. If you're interested, you can learn a lot from this particular website. Now, how do you go to process builder? Click on setup, process. See, under workflows approvals, you have something called as process builder. Right. This is how a process builder looks like. See, it is quite different from what we have seen so far. Now click on new. See, it is asking for a process name. Let's say we'll take a process, create a record, we'll create a record. Okay, this will be the API name, description, select one process. So we want to know when the process starts, when a record change happens, when a platform is invoked, like when an event happens across the platform. The platform is nothing but across your organization. If there is an event, you want this to be performed, or else it is invoked when another process is invoked. Like if you have any other workflow, or else you have any process that is running, like a process builder process or anything, you want to be invoked when the particular criteria is met by that process. You want this particular thing to be run. So I'm selecting a record is changed. Save. See here, do you remember anything? This is like a flow chart. If you can remember, we have learned the flow chart, how it is all. So it is asking us to add an object. So let's take account. Only when a record is created, or when a record is created and edited, whenever we want. So I'm creating a record, so I'll only want when a create is created. If there is any recursive action, if you click on this, there is a recursive thing will be stopped. Okay. Now click on save. Add a criteria. So what is the criteria name that you want to give? You are basically when you want this to be fired. So I'm creating, I'll just give it the alright, record testing. Conditions are met, formula, no criteria. You can also execute this without any criteria as well. So I don't want any criteria, so I'm just putting it no criteria. I'm saving this. So see, you have immediate action as well as you have time dependent here as well. So I'm adding an immediate action. See, you have Apex, you have a create a record, you have email alert flow, we have a post to charter, processes, quick action, submit for approvals, updating records. Now what is our main agenda is creating a record. So what is the action name? Child creation. I'm just putting child creation. Find a record type. So where do you want this thing to be? Where do you want the record to be created? On contact, right? So it is giving us the last name. The last name should be there. Field reference. I'm taking C. Here we have a string value. You can type in a name here, so that see. But I want whatever I'm creating in the account name, I want that to be there. So I'm taking the field reference. Here I can take the fields. Account field. Account name. Choose. I don't want anything else, so I'm closing this. I'm saving it. See here, you have something called as activate. Alright, we cannot edit once we activate this thing. We can only clone the process again if we want to. I'm activating this. Activating confirm. Alright. Go back to the home page. Click on accounts. So test PB. PB is nothing but process builder. So as soon as I create this, my child, that is contact, will also be created. I believe we have few validation rules. So let's see. Yeah. Account name is test. So how do we check the child is? Scroll down and you can check it here. But I haven't mentioned the ID, right? So let's go see in contacts. Test PB. See, we created an account. Let's do one more thing. Let's create another process builder. Now go back to setup. Process builder again. Now we have created a record, but this record is not displaying here. If you can see, it is not displaying under this one. I want the child record to be displayed here as well. Now how to do that? So click on new. Give it. I'm just giving something called as test. Tab. Right. When a record change happens, save. Object. Again. Account. Alright, so it already has one, so we cannot use another one. Account already has an active record change process. So record create record with the process name is called as create record. So it is showing us a warning. So what we have to do first, let's go ahead and deactivate that first. It's not that we cannot create it, we can create it, but what happens is it will cause us little collision. We want to avoid whatever collisions that they are. So it is an activate mode. Edit properties. So we have to view all processes. This is inactive, that is test. Now click on this. Deactivate. Confirm. Right. Oh shit. Right. Process builder. Now go back here. Right. Add an object. Now see. It's letting us to add a project. When a record is created, save. Criteria. I don't want a criteria here. Save. So it is requiring a name. So I'm just copying the criteria name and pasting it here. Immediate action. Create a record. Record creation. For you can choose opportunity as well. Let's take account itself. So account last name, as I told you, field reference, use field reference, and then account name, choose. Now I have to add a row, find field, account ID, now again field reference, equal to right, account ID, field reference, account ID, save. Activate, confirm. Right, it is activated now. Clicking on account. Test PB1. Save. See? Now I've related the account ID to the contact's account ID. So that's the reason there is a mapping done. So as soon as I've created something here, I can see an related contact here. Prior to that, what we have done is we have just created a record. We haven't matched the IDs. So that's the reason it was not showing up there previously. Now we have to go to contacts. We went to contacts and we were checking. See, I haven't refreshed the page. That's the reason we still have it here. So I was testing this. So now what I have done is we've directly created it. See, there's account name. If you can see, if I refresh it, see, account name is reflecting here by itself. So that is the difference. So we can also update a record. We can do a lot of different actions using Process Builder. So let's catch up in the next session and take a look at few more things into Process Builder, a few more examples, and try to understand how a Process Builder works. We'll try to update a field and do a few more stuff there. All right, let's catch up in the next session. Thank you very much.